Ukraine's drone attack deep inside the Russian territory has shocked many for its sheer audacity. Codenamed Spider's Web, some military commentators have dubbed the attack as Russia's Pearl Harbor moment. But why the analogy? We explain. On December 7, 1941, Japan hit Pearl Harbor, the US naval base near Honolulu, Hawaii. Many claim that with this attack, the Japanese rewrote military doctrine. Almost no one had imagined they could sneak across an entire ocean to attack an impregnable fortress, as US strategists had described Hawaii. Hundreds of Japanese fighter planes rained bombs, bullets and aerial torpedoes in two waves on the Pacific Fleet. The attack damaged or destroyed nearly 20 American ships and more than 300 airplanes. Over 3,500 US sailors and soldiers were killed. Of the 8 US battleships present at Pearl Harbor then, all were damaged and 4 were sunk. The USS Arizona, a battleship which was struck by a 1,800-pound bomb and has since become a symbol for the tragedy. About half of those who died at Pearl Harbor were on the Arizona. That surprise strike prompted the United States to enter World War II. The United States formally declared war on Japan and entered the Second World War. Germany and Italy followed by declaring war on the US, giving the war a truly international flavor.
I ask that the Congress declare that since the unprovoked and dastardly attack by Japan on Sunday, December 7th, 1941, a state of war has existed between the United States and the Japanese Empire.
So why did the Pearl Harbor attack happen? Well, the Pearl Harbor was preceded by months of negotiations between the US and Japan over the future of the Pacific. Tokyo and Washington negotiated for months leading up to the Pearl Harbor attack without success. While the United States hoped embargoes on oil and other key goods would lead Japan to halt its expansionism, the sanctions and other penalties actually convinced Japan to stand its ground and stirred up the anger of its people against continued Western interference in Asian affairs. The Japanese hoped that the strike would enable Japan to make quick territorial gains and negotiate a peace. So why the comparison? Several pundits are alluding to the surprise and scope of the attack and the weakness it revealed in Russia's defenses. Secondly, surprise and scale. Both were surprises and hit deep into a country's military core. While the Japanese crossing the entire Pacific undetected was unimaginable, the Ukrainian drones hitting 5 Russian airbases, 2 located thousands of miles away in the Arctic and Siberia, was just as difficult to fathom. So what was the impact? Pearl Harbor thrust the US into World War II. Ukraine's attack possibly frightened some into thinking it may push Russia to intensify its war or even threaten nuclear retribution. Also, there is an aspect of changing warfare. Just as the attack on Pearl Harbor marked the dawn of aircraft carriers and new methods of warfare, Ukraine's drone attack indicates how small, inexpensive drones can attack even the most protected airfields, potentially altering military tactics globally.
Загалом в операції було використано 117 дронів.
117 drones were used in the operation and respective number of drone pilots were involved. 34% of strategic carriers of cruise missiles on their home airfields were hit. Our people worked in different Russian regions, in 3 time zones. Our people on the eve of the operation were extracted from the Russian territory. Now they are in safety.
Людей напередодні операції з території Росії вивели. Зараз вони в безпеці.
Many experts do also say comparing Ukraine's spiderweb operation to Pearl Harbor is misguided. While Pearl Harbor was an unprovoked attack that started a war, Ukraine's spiderweb comes after more than 3 years of full-scale war.